Hello friends, it's Nancy from Astrology and Angel Mediums with a weekly check-in reading to just kind of see what this week will bring for us as a collective. So this will be for the week of Sunday, January 4th, 2026 through Saturday, January 10th, 2026. So we had the lovely full moon in Cancer yesterday. I hope you guys are feeling that beautiful energy, the first full moon of the year. And, you know, some people celebrate New Year's, so we also had that kind of going on this previous week. I hope everyone is doing okay. I don't know about you guys. I am holidayed out. I'm tired. So let's kind of get into what this week will bring, things to kind of keep in mind. So very first thing is, what do we need to know? So here we have the 10 of emotions or 10 of cups. What do we need to do? We have the 2 of cups reversed. What do we need to release? We have the universe reversed. And then what do we need to contemplate? We have the Ace of Cups upright. All right, so lots of cups. I think we're all in the feels, right? All right, so let's kind of get into what these cards mean, kind of what I would use for interpretation for this week, and what to keep in mind. So the very first thing is what we need to know. So here we have the 10 of Cups, which this is typically a card of everything really coming together, a lot of happiness, a lot of joy. This is very much about allowing ourselves to really feel like everything is really falling into place the way that we have desired. So there's a lot of optimism. There's a lot of this sense of positivity, I guess would be the nicest way of putting it. And there is this beautiful kind of energy that kind of overflows in different areas of our lives. So I feel like the first week of the new year can kind of bring a lot of this like optimism of like, oh, it's a new year. That it's like, you know, giving us an opportunity to kind of like put ourselves back out there, try new things, challenge ourselves with resolutions, trying to make our lives better, and just really focusing on what makes us happy, what makes us feel grounded, really surrounding ourselves with the people that we love and the things that we love. I think that this is also very much like full moon in Cancer kind of energy as well. I think a lot of us are wanting to kind of nurture ourselves a little bit more, wanting to spend a little time with the people that we love, being a little bit more present in our lives in so many different ways. So there is a lot of this presence of mind, so to speak, that I think tends to come with the 10 of Cups. It's very much kind of feeling like our wishes are being fulfilled. There is a beautiful kind of optimism that tends to come with the energy of this card. Now, this doesn't mean that everything is perfect. It's more of perception, more of our mindset right now, kind of maybe what we're choosing to focus on, what we're choosing to kind of do currently is to be a little bit more focused on our immediate kind of environment, the people that we're surrounding ourselves with. There's a lot of this sense of, you know, community building and really finding a lot of acceptance and happiness where we're at. So what we need to do is we have the 2 of Cups reversed, which this is typically a card of like coming together, really kind of initiating relationships, connections. And with this being reversed is that maybe this is not the best time to kind of focus on our feelings about some of the relationships that we have around us. So I think with what we need to do is that maybe this is not a time to be trying to force a lot of, you know, going out, hanging out with everybody, trying to be too focused on what everybody else needs, especially given that we had like the 10 of emotions or the 10 of cups, kind of saying like, we need to know, like, you know, it's okay for us to kind of be happy with the things that we have and the community that we've already built. So this may not be the best time to kind of put ourselves out there in some ways. Now, this isn't to say that you shouldn't. This is just to say that maybe it's time to be a little bit more focused on who we are and what we need in our relationships, more so than trying to be so focused on the external needs, if that makes sense. When I look at a reverse card, I think it's more of like an introspective sort of energy that we're going to start to feel. And so it's giving us a little bit of like cause to pause, I guess, is kind of like the phrase that came through in my mind, and kind of giving us an opportunity to kind of say like, am I really, choosing and harmonizing and balancing different, feelings and emotions that I have, and, really being aware of what it is that I'm choosing for myself. Am I making choices in my relationships and my connections that are, intuitively led for me? And if not, why not? So I think it's kind of a callback into being a little bit more rooted and grounded in our personal experiences and like what we really truly need, versus like trying to kind of force ourselves to kind of be out there and do all of these things. Now, what we need to release is the Universe card. Now, this is one of these extra cards that I put into this deck. It's a card out of the Secrets of Paradise Tarot by Leticia Ferrer Rivera. And I think that the energy of this card is more than I feel like it's an extension of the world, but further, right? When we think of the world, it's kind of an all-encompassing kind of energy. Now, the universe is kind of like a reminder that we are surrounded by so many things that maybe we don't understand, so many things that are happening around us. But with this being reversed, is that maybe we're just forgetting that at the end of the day, we are a small speck in the universe, and maybe we're kind of forgetting to really focus on what we want and what makes us happy, and really not being so worried about what it may look like to everybody else, or that maybe not everyone will always understand. And I think it's, with this being what we need to release, is that maybe we've been holding on to the things that really truly make us happy, the things that make us feel like we are really a part of the greater scheme and the bigger things outside of ourselves. It's so easy for us to kind of make us feel a little bit stuck in how we're showing up and like what we're trying to do with our lives. So I think the universe reversed is kind of saying like, we haven't really been prioritizing like what makes us actually feel happy, what makes us feel complete in our lives. And it's so easy to kind of let these things kind of fall to the wayside during the holiday season, because we have a lot of different external commitments. We have a lot of different things that maybe we've been focusing on. And I think with what we need to release is this kind of sense of like, I'm holding back, I'm like waiting for the right time. And I think that this card is kind of saying like, all right, like this is the time to kind of let some of that go and kind of move into the energy of what we really truly want and need. And finally, with what we need to contemplate is the Ace of Cups, which this is a card that really talks about love beginning, an opportunity for us to kind of open up our hearts, to move into things that feel more rooted and connected for us. So this is the beginning of the suit of cups. I cannot talk today. And so I think the biggest thing with this energy is that it's kind of asking us to say, like, what are we doing with this energy? Like, are we allowing ourselves to be receptive to the possibility that things can be different, that things can be, energetically aligned with what we really truly desire for ourselves? There's a lot of cups energy, right, in this reading this week. So I think it's, and I think it's very apt with, we have a stellium in Capricorn right now, with a lot of things being in Capricorn. We have, Saturn moving into Aries this week as well. And so a lot of us are kind of like at this precipice of like all the emotions and all the feels, and then like what that means for like, you know, this cardinal energy that's like trying to kind of push us forward, to kind of say like, all right, like this is the spark, this is the initiation for us to kind of move into the next thing. And I feel like maybe this week we're a little bit more maybe sensitive, maybe a little bit more receptive to, you know, how do I really feel? What's really going on with me? What truly makes me happy? What sort of things am I doing that maybe haven't been in alignment with what it is that I want? What will this really look like for me moving forward? So I think that this week is one where we're really considering not just our options, but also like, you know, who we are, what we want, what really truly speaks to us on an individual level, and not being so caught up in the expectations placed upon us by others. So I think that this week is kind of like reminding us of this energy of like, hey, we kind of gotta step it up a little bit. It's time for us to not just put aside things that maybe we've been hanging on to, but maybe be very intentional about what we're going to do with the energy as we kind of move forward and what that really truly means for us. So I think that there's a lot of the beginning of change for a lot of us. We're maybe starting to kind of feel the energy really shift from the hardships and challenges that 2025 brought, and maybe like having a little bit more optimism and positivity towards it. But I think that we're still a little bit cautious, and we're not really moving into the energy quite so like gleefully, or maybe we're just kind of like, there's a lot of trepidation, I think, where a lot of us are kind of like, okay, like I don't really know what to do with this, or I don't really know where this is going to go or how it's going to look. So I hope that this week treats you well. I want to say thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to try to be a little bit more intentional and a little bit more reliable on YouTube, as it is a medium that I'm becoming more familiar with and more comfortable with in 2026. And that is one of the things that I really want to push myself to do and show up. So let me know what you guys think of these weekly check-ins, or do you prefer like a pick a card reading instead, or pick a deck, or pick a pile, or do you prefer like these kind of weekly things? Do you want more of like a monthly overview? I want to know what you guys would enjoy more and kind of focus on that. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me. Please take care, stay safe, and I hope that this week brings you all of the beautiful things that you deserve. Have a good one. Bye.